Good afternoon, it's 3 o'clock and I'm Joe Lewis with your headlines from Solent Journalism. We start today with continuing breaking news. The Prime Minister Liz Truss has within the last 90 minutes resigned as Prime Minister after just 45 days in office. Here is the moment she delivered the news to the nation.
I came into office at a time of great economic and international instability. Families and businesses were worried about how to pay their bills. Putin's illegal war in Ukraine threatens the security of our whole continent, and our country has been held back for too long by low economic growth. I was elected by the Conservative Party with a mandate to change this. We delivered on energy bills and on cutting national insurance. And we set out a vision for a low-tax, high-growth economy that would take advantage of the freedoms of Brexit. I recognise, though, given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party. This morning I met the chairman of the 1922 committee, Sir Graham Brady. We've agreed that there will be a leadership election to be completed within the next week. This will ensure that we remain on a path to deliver our fiscal plans and maintain our country's economic stability and national security. I will remain as Prime Minister until a successor has been chosen. Thank you.
For the latest on the reaction to that, we cross live to our political correspondent, Benjamin Axon, who has been following this story for us all day. Hello, Ben. So the PM has gone. What happens next?
Yeah, and what a turbulent 24 hours in Parliament. As you can see from that video, Liz Truss has resigned. The events of yesterday in the House of Commons almost seem insignificant now. You saw from her resignation speech, quite short, very different to the one Boris delivered just 6 weeks ago. She mentioned the energy crisis, Putin's war in Ukraine, prominent, and of course adding there that the country had been held back by slow economic growth, possibly pointing to recent conversations with Jeremy Hunt. Her low-tax, high-growth economy has simply not worked, and she's paid the price. She's the shortest-serving Prime Minister in British political history. She finished with a smile on her face. She confirmed she's going to stay as Prime Minister for the next week whilst we go through it again. There will be a race to the PM, a leadership contest. Penny Mordaunt, Member of Parliament for Portsmouth, has said the party needs to keep calm and carry on. Looking at the odds now, Rishi Sunak is favourite, although the names we saw only 6 weeks ago are prominent again. That's Ben Wallace. We've got Jeremy Hunt, who said he is not running, Matt Hancock in there, and also Boris Johnson. The next week will be incredibly interesting.
Thank you, Ben. We will check back with you later for any breaking news, but now for an important news update. Hampshire Police are asking for any support in finding a missing man in Southampton. 17-year-old Calvin, originally from Slough, has been reported missing since 6 p.m. on Thursday, the 13th of October. His last whereabouts are believed to be Southampton, and if anyone has any information regarding Calvin, Hampshire Police ask for you to please contact 101. Over 200 students have been forced out of their accommodation in Southampton because of severe flooding. It's now been 3 weeks since the flooding and repairs and safety checks are still continuing. The students who are currently staying in subsidised hotels are not due to move back into their rooms until at least the 23rd of November. Mercury Point, the owners of the accommodation, have supplied students with a £25 a day allowance to cover food and other expenses, but the company declined to comment further on the story to us today. It may seem strange given the weather today, but the hosepipe ban introduced this summer has been extended for parts of southern England, including Southampton. According to Southern Water, the levels of the River Test are still around 25% lower than they should be at this time of the year. Customers who ignore the given restrictions may be fined up to £1,000. The controversial e-scooter scheme launched in March 2021 is set to be extended. People in Southampton, Portsmouth and the Isle of Wight can now continue to hire the scooters until 2024. Our local reporter, Rachel Chambers, brings us more on this story.
The e-scooter scheme has been extended by a further 18 months, despite all the controversies. Alongside the scheme, the Southampton City Council has launched the new bike share scheme known as Beryl Bikes by Breeze. The schemes have been put into place throughout the city to help with the congestion and the environmental crisis we are currently all facing. However, many issues have arisen due to the new transportation. We've taken to the streets of Southampton to find out what people think of these. So what do you think of the e-scooter scheme and the bike scheme?
I think they come in at the right time because they provide an alternative to the scooter. And the other thing is, I think anyone else can ride a bike without any problem. And when I checked on the app, I think they are slightly easier to use and they're slightly cheaper than the scooter.
Sadly, I have seen most of the people or guys and girls, they're just riding the scooters very recklessly, and they don't think about any safety measures, because as an individual, it is our responsibility to ride the scooters safe. Of course, we don't expect the traffic police or the government to be after them, you know. It is a responsibility of every individual, because at the end of the day, it can also, my life can be in danger, and I can also put somebody else's life in danger.
On to sport now, and Southampton Football Club have secured a 1-0 win against rivals Bournemouth last night after an emphatic header by striker Che Adams. Manager Ralph Hasenhüttl secured his job for another week after this important win moves the club out of the bottom three and up to 14th in the Premier League table. The Saints' next game, however, is on Sunday against league leaders Arsenal, who will bring fresh concerns over the manager's future at the club. As Halloween starts to approach, Southampton residents are flocking to Sunnyfields Farm to start this season's annual pumpkin picking and Halloween activities. Our reporter Ned Kelly has more on this spooky pumpkin story.
I'm here at Sunnyfields Farm in the midst of their Pumpkin Time Halloween event, which will run until the 31st of October. On display are thousands of pumpkins ready to be bought and decorated for the upcoming spooky season. Sunnyfields Farm opened in 1990 and over the last 32 years has hosted an array of events available for the public to experience. Ian Nelson, founder of Sunnyfields Farm, for the last 6 years has been dedicated to making sure the event runs as smoothly as possible, with an estimated 250,000 pumpkins to be sold in the build-up to Halloween.
We look after the farm. And you could say it's our farm, but it's not. We are custodians of the farm. You know, we're here to look after the farm. And I think as a business person, you're only as good as your next day's trading. So I don't go around patting myself on the back. You're always looking at the ways of improving. But when we actually see people coming in and having lots of fun, then that makes you, you're very happy. And Sunnyfields has always been very embedded in the community as well. And if you just listen to people, I love walking behind someone and they go, wow, this is fantastic. And a lot of the posts on social media saying, we came last week and it was superb. So yeah, it makes you feel good.
This Halloween event is perfect for a family day out, a place where children can really embrace the atmosphere of Halloween. We asked visitors about their experience.
We're just collecting all the pumpkins ready for carving, and as I came across a few witches, I was like, oh my word, you're not gonna confront me or anything or do something to me, are you?
It's great for, obviously we've got 5 grandchildren, all different ages, so yeah, from the biggest to the youngest, there's something for all of them. Yeah, really enjoying it, getting scared by the skeletons.
They've gone well and beyond themselves. It's absolutely wonderful. I mean, I honestly just thought there would be just a few little pumpkins around, but wow, it's huge. Yeah, you can see it's family business. And yes, there's a bear. Yeah, there's been lots and lots of passion gone into this, you can see.
If, like me, you fancy coming down to Sunnyfields Farm to buy your own organic pumpkin, please be sure to purchase your tickets online and to make sure to bring your spooky A-game. Ned Kelly for Solent Journalism.
All from us for now. You can find all our stories and more online. including a special guide on how to save money on your bills during this cost of living crisis from our reporter Francesca Eden. It includes info on where to get cheap hot meals over half term. Just head to solentjournalism.co.uk and you can follow us on Twitter. But for now, from me, Joe Lewis, have a good evening.